The woman who remembered her worth. The first time Laila Hassan realized she had disappeared from her own life, she was standing in a grocery store aisle, staring at 20 brands of pasta sauce, unable to remember which one she liked. It sounds small, but it wasn't, because Laila used to know what she liked. She liked bold colors, loud music, extra cheese, midnight road trips, dreams that scared her in a good way. But somewhere between marriage, motherhood, and making everyone else comfortable, she had slowly faded into someone whose only goal was keeping the peace. And peace, she had learned, often meant silence. The marriage that looked perfect. From the outside, Layla's life looked beautiful. A big house in the suburbs, 2 well-dressed kids, a husband with a respected job, family photos on social media with smiling faces and perfect lighting. People commented, "Goals! Such a blessed family. You have it all." But pictures never captured the way Omar corrected her mid-sentence, or the way he laughed when she mentioned going back to school, or how every decision, from vacations to furniture, somehow became his choice. "You overthink," he'd say with a smile that looked kind but felt like a lock clicking shut. Over time, Laila stopped arguing. Then she stopped suggesting. Then she stopped wanting. The day she heard her own thoughts again. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon. Nothing dramatic, no shouting, no fight, just silence. Omar had taken the kids to visit his parents. Laila stayed home with a headache, or at least that's what she told him. In truth, she was just tired. Tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. She sat on the kitchen floor, back against the cabinet, and let the quiet fill the house. No TV, no footsteps, no one needing anything. And in that silence, a thought rose up like it had been waiting to speak. Is this it? Her chest tightened, not because she didn't love her family, but because she couldn't remember the last time she had felt alive inside her own life. The notebook. That evening, while cleaning the garage, she found an old storage box. Inside was a spiral notebook with paint stains on the cover, her old-fashioned design sketchbook. She sat on the dusty floor and opened it. Dresses poured across the pages, bold cuts, flowing fabrics, fearless shapes. Designs she created before marriage, before expectations shaped her smaller. Her fingers traced the pencil lines. "I used to be brave," she whispered, and for the first time in years, she cried for herself. The secret spark. Laila didn't announce her awakening. She didn't confront Omar. She didn't post a motivational quote. She just started. At night, after everyone slept, she sat at the kitchen table with cheap fabric and an old sewing machine she ordered online. The first dress was terrible. The second was wearable. By the 5th, she felt something she hadn't felt in years: pride. She made an anonymous social media page called Midnight Thread. No face, no name, just designs. Within weeks, people started following, then asking if they could buy. Then fashion bloggers shared her work. Laila stitched pieces of herself back together with every seam. The discovery. Omar found the packages first. Boxes of fabric, shipping labels, receipts. "What is all this?" he asked one evening, holding a dress in his hands. Her heart pounded, but something inside her refused to shrink. "I made that." He laughed, not cruelly, but dismissively. "This little hobby? You don't have time for this." The old Laila would have apologized. This one didn't. "I'll make time." It was a small sentence, but it felt like breaking a chain. The offer that changed everything. 6 months later, an email arrived from a boutique owner in New York. She wanted to carry Midnight Thread in her store. Real money, real exposure. Laila stared at the screen, hands shaking. She showed Omar that night, expecting at least surprise. Instead, he frowned. New York? You can't just run off chasing fantasies. The kids need stability. Fantasy. The word stung more than she expected, because for years she had treated his dreams like reality and hers like decoration. That night she lay awake staring at the ceiling, heart pounding with a terrifying, beautiful thought. What if I chose myself this time? The quiet exit. Laila didn't leave in anger, she left in clarity. After months of therapy, planning, and saving secret earnings from her designs, she rented a small apartment downtown. When she told Omar, he was stunned. "You're breaking this family over clothes?" She shook her head calmly. "No, I'm saving myself." It was the hardest thing she had ever done, walking away from comfort, from familiarity, from the version of life everyone approved of. But every step toward that tiny apartment felt like oxygen returning to her lungs. The rebuild. The apartment was small, loud, imperfect. It was hers. She turned the living room into a studio, fabric draped over chairs, sketches taped to walls, music playing while she worked. Her kids visited on weekends and saw something new in her. Joy. Not forced smiles, real joy. Her brand grew. Influencers wore her pieces. A magazine featured her story. Designer who started at 38 proves it's never too late. Orders flooded in. She hired 2 assistants, both single mothers starting over. Midnight Thread became more than fashion. It became freedom stitched into fabric. The fashion show. 2 years later, Laila stood backstage at her first major fashion show. Models lined up wearing her designs, bold, flowing, unapologetic. Her hands trembled, but her eyes were steady. In the front row sat her kids, grinning, and farther back, Omar. He looked older, quieter, watching the woman he once thought would never leave. When Laila stepped onto the runway at the end, applause thundered through the room, not just for the clothes, for the woman who dared to exist again. Later that night, her daughter hugged her tight. "Mom, you look different now, like you're glowing." Laila smiled. "I just remembered who I was. Because worth isn't something someone gives you, and it's not something you lose when others overlook you. It's something you remember. And once you do, no one can make you small again." Sometimes the bravest thing a woman can do is choose herself without apology.